Everyone, welcome to today's edition of the Pan-African Morning. My name is Gugu, and thank you so much for joining us. Please do further the conversation across all our social media platforms. We are Galaxy Universe on Facebook. We are Gan_TV_ on Instagram and on Twitter. With that being said, let's get to our top stories. Members of the MKMVA continue to show an untamed support for the former President Jacob Zuma as they were present at the Constitutional Court amid the application by the State Capture Commission to declare the former President Jacob Zuma in contempt of court after failing to appear a number of times. Advocate.
The court needs to protect the institutional integrity of the judicial system. Justice Khampempe, I'm in your hands. I've got nothing more useful to say to the court.
Thank you, Mr. Ngogaitobi.
Sorry, my junior seems to have sent me something. I know it's been overtaken by events.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Ngogaitobi. Judgment is reserved and the court is adjourned.
Advocate Tembega Ngogaitobi said that the former President Jacob Zuma's conduct was threatening to the constitutional order. He has made an application in the Constitutional Court on behalf of the State Capture Commission on Thursday. The commission wants the former President Jacob Zuma to be found in contempt of court and that he needs to be jailed for 2 years. We are following this story close. But for now, we'll get to our interview. As you may know, that South Africa was celebrating the Human Rights Day of an event that took place in Sharpeville, where about 69 people were killed as they were marching in a peaceful protest to fight or rather dispute the apartheid laws. And joining me online is Professor Siko Kruma, who is a professor and a doctor. He's going to be engaging with us. A very warm welcome to you, Doctor, and thank you so much for joining us right here on Pan-African Morning.
Good morning to you and to your viewers. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. You know, Sharpeville Massacre is one of the historical days that we celebrate in South Africa, as it marks a 10 of events that happened in our history. And we know that you've delivered a speech. Take us through your speech that you delivered, sir.
Yeah, it's definitely a historic day, which means a lot for Africans, South Africans, and Africans as a whole everywhere in the world. It's part of what is referred to as the spiritual decolonization. You know, the Pan-African journey started with the days of slavery, when we had Arab and European slavery, and then it went through colonialism, neo-colonialism, and so on. So basically, the struggle of Africans, their identity, struggle for identity, and then their well-being and welfare. So obviously, like those of us in Ghana in the 50s had to fight for our independence under the leadership of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And fortunately for us, the struggle was not a violent one. So we used positive action to obtain our independence, or to gain our independence from the British. And we adopted the Gandhi philosophy of nonviolence. But that was the situation in Ghana. Now coming to South Africa, I realized that fighting the oppressive system of apartheid, South Africans had to opt for a different form of struggle.
Yeah.
And armed struggle was used. And that was precisely because of those events, the event of Sharpeville, that when people were demonstrating peacefully against an oppressive law, the past law, which was limiting their movement and so on. So they had to, they were fighting for their rights and what was just for them. And generally, the oppressive regime, the apartheid regime. So now, when that struggle takes a different turn because of certain events, like police brutalities in this case, a lot of people sometimes don't understand and feel that it's difficult to kind of appreciate why people will, for example, take up arms to fight for their own rights and freedoms and so on.
Yeah.
But most people sometimes feel that, no, that's not the way to go. But sometimes the situation dictates the path in which, or the path in which you should go. And this was the situation in South Africa. And fortunately, many people in other African countries appreciated it and supported South Africans. So again, you realize that Ghana, at some point during the leadership of Kwame Nkrumah, again, was the Mecca of the liberation struggle. And Ghana helped or reached out to help our brothers and sisters who were trying to fight for independence. And apartheid was also part of that struggle. It is, of course, people then have to appreciate that people sacrificed their lives, sacrificed so much to obtain their freedom. So those who were shot or killed by the police brutalities, we have to remember them. Yeah. Those who spent many years in jail fighting for that struggle, we have to appreciate them. And so the sacrifices come in many forms. It's not only losing one's life, but also you could lose family and so on. And that is something that is important for us to appreciate, that why the revolution had to take a certain turn. And I remember as many years ago when I returned to Ghana in the late 1980s, and I joined a different struggle then. It wasn't about independence. We were then independent for so many years. But we then had several coups d'etats, and we had long periods of military dictatorship. So in the 80s, we had a military dictatorship. And I remember joining the movement for freedom and justice then, in the early 90s. We were demanding a return to multi-party democracy and the rule of law and so on. And what was interesting was that, in those early days, I had several mentors, leaders of that movement. And I remember once visiting one of them in his home. And then his home, the family was so much in some sort of tension because the police had come there, or the security agency, and searched the place and were looking for the guy, and he had left and so on. And I was sitting there visiting the family, and I was wondering in my mind why. I was fairly innocent then politically. I was then just in my late 20s. And I was wondering to myself, why would this guy put his family in such tension and so on. And later when I matured in the struggle and in politics, I came to appreciate that when you go into these political struggles and you become an activist, you make a lot of sacrifices and nothing is private anymore, and people around you also become part of that struggle, whether they like it or not. Yes. So we need to appreciate that even those who struggled, the leaders of those struggles and so on, were also the anti-apartheid movement in this case in South Africa, had families and so on. So a lot was going on, a lot of sacrifices were made for us to enjoy the freedom we have today. Yeah. And of course, it was oppressive, fighting for what was right and just. So they had a cause. But earlier I was saying that we also need, as Africans, to link all this to the spirit of decolonization and the Pan-African journey that we all travel through. Yes. So you see that today, let's say the movement in the U.S., police brutalities continues today in the U.S., for example, against our African brothers over there, African Americans. Yes. And you realize that the Black Lives Matter is a movement that came up. It's also part of that struggle. So although we can be in Africa, but we should realize that we need to support movements that are fighting for Africans and the Pan-African movement, the same as other Africans who were not in South Africa during the apartheid regime, were not suffering those police brutalities and issues there, but then yet reached out to support as much as they can our South African brothers. So collectively, we have to appreciate that this is a journey that all of us are as Africans are part of. And we need to obviously look back, appreciate that history. And of course, it's good that after the revolution, South Africa also chose the path of reconciliation so that the country now together can be united and move forward to serve now the interests of all South Africans, their welfare, well-being, and improving their economic situation, well-being, and so on.
Now, Prof, thank you so much for sharing that sentiment, and I really concur with you that we need to celebrate, what has been done over time in history in fighting against the oppression of a black man. But there has been some concerns, particularly with the Sharpeville massacre, that the history has been washed down. Like for instance, this day is called Human Rights Day instead of what initially it was as the Sharpeville massacre. What's your take in this with regards to how history over time evolves and the content and the gist of what really transpired gets to be toned down?
Yes, that is why I was trying to give you the example of sometimes people become concerned with certain ways because it's historic, because it changed the movement, the movement, the anti-apartheid movement, whereby people decided that no, just protesting is not enough. We need to take up arms to overthrow this oppressive regime. And I think you see that people are not basically will not be comfortable with that. So what happens is that they also try to rearrange how things happen and so on to serve a certain interest. You realize that it's same like, for example, if I give the example of we have had our independence for so many years now, as many African countries, and yet we are not, we are politically independent, but economically we're still dependent on the very countries that colonized us, and basically the superpower, Western world and superpowers or interest. So that fight still continues in a sense, and that's why Nkrumah even coined the word new colonialism, because the issue is that struggle still continues, and for so many years you realize that we are still in that struggle. We are yet to come out of it. So it means that those who are trying to control or oppress us still continue to do it in disguise or in different other ways. So it is probably that's why that scenario or the history would be written in a way to not so much to bring things into light where people become very conscious of what really happened and what they need to do. So that's why it is a struggle that we still continue to, it has not ended. We are still being oppressed in so many different ways, but it's for us to continue to fight that oppression and the different schemes and the different things that are thrown at us. So in a sense, it is for us to write the history the way it's supposed to be, and it's for us to challenge what has been put out there to represent our history, which is not really doing justice to that history. So I think it's a responsibility for all of us, the media, the politicians, the civil society, and the rest of us.
Now, Professor, before I let you go, like you just mentioned and alluded that part of what we're experiencing today, yes, we are independent and we fought for our liberation, but economically we are not yet liberated. In your own stance, in your own perspective, what do you think will help Africa and the rest of the parts of the world where we find our people, our native black people who are not yet still liberated financially or economically?
Yeah, so I think we have to also then understand that Pan-African journey. I think the first stage was the decolonization,
yes,
which was achieved through independence. But the second stage was the Continental Union.
Yes.
And it goes even beyond Continental Union. It's really about Africans coming together. So also bridging the gap between Africans in the diaspora and Africans on the continent. So it's still a journey that we're traveling, and there's still a lot of work to be done. But coming together, basically, or simply put, is the way forward now. I mean, how we make that a reality depends on how we as Africans not only relate to each other, because I think we do, I think in many ways, we do relate to each other. We're strong, at least sub-Saharan Africa is culturally very much similar and so on. So it's just now trying to put policies, I guess, in governments, from governments, to put policies in place that will help us kind of economically integrate. It's not easy when you have, as I said earlier, we are dominated by forces from outside that control basically these puppet regimes, if you want to put it that way. But I think it's still the masses that decide who is in power and who is not. So it is for all of us. We make the masses, so it's for all of us to really come together and work towards bringing our people together. So we still have to be activists. We still have to, through the media, through all sort of means that are available to us today. But of course, when people are struggling individually and so on, then it's easy to disunite us, because everybody's just trying to make ends meet and struggling with basic survival and so on. But it takes leadership, and that's why we look up to leaders to kind of show us the way.
Thank you, Professor, for those sentiments, and we truly concur with you that Aluta continue, the struggle needs to continue, because we are still having other areas of our lives not yet liberated. And thank you so much for sharing these views, Professor. We will continue to engage with you right here on Galaxy Universal Network.
Thank you for having me.
That was Professor Nkrumah really sharing with us sentiments with regards to, the recent celebrated day, which is the Human Rights Day. As you may know, that it was a march against the apartheid laws that were oppressing our people. And with that being said, Galaxy will take a break. Pan-African Morning will take a break. Do stay tuned. We'll be back after this with a pristine and esteemed guest who will be engaging with us on a very, very, very critical subject. Do stay tuned, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Pan-African Morning right here on Galaxy Universal Network Channel 500 on Starsat. My name is Gugu Thusi. Please do further the conversation across all our social media platforms. We are Galaxy Universal Network on Facebook. We are GAN_TV_ on Instagram and on Twitter. With that being said, let's move to our next story. Ntutuko Shoba was back at the Roodepoort Magistrates Court for the fresh bail application. The magistrate, Delisa Smith, reminded the accused that at this point he doesn't have to disclose new information. However, Shoba and his legal representative decided to proceed with the new information. Shoba, in this particular instance, argues that in a conversation he had with a fellow inmate, the inmate revealed that Muzigaise Malapane had told the inmate that he was arrested for killing his girlfriend after an argument, which then in turn reveals, or rather it is apparent, that the deceased had multiple relations. And the uncle of the late Thusi Pule also shared some remarks that as the family, they had anticipated such discoveries. Let's have a look at those sentiments.
Important to the court today.
What a joke. For some reasons, as a family, we once anticipated that should this fact resurface, just like it has surfaced during the voice note that was circulated by the alleged mother of the suspect now, it has resurfaced again. So it's a joke. And we're not here to play games. I think we need to shy away from the fact of trying to paint women as being sluts or as being people who are forever unfaithful. The person who was cheating, first and foremost, the person who is married is who? It is him. The person who was cheating, it is who? It is him against his wife. So was Thusi married? No. Was Thusi in a stable relationship with another guy? No. So this is a total joke, actually. And more than anything, it just shows a lack of respect of himself towards us and a lack of considering our own feeling as a family. So it's a...
And the bail application for the alleged mastermind in the murder of Thusi Pule has been postponed to the 6th of April. We'll get a legal expert to share some sentiments on this as we move right along with Pan-African Morning. Still in court, the 4 police officers accused in the murder of Nthokozisi Ntumba have told the Johannesburg Magistrates Court that their release on bail will not cause a public disorder. A formal bail application was heard on Wednesday, where the judgment is reserved for today, which is Friday. Ntumba was shot and killed earlier this month during a student protest in Braamfontein. Men aged 27 and 51 are facing charges of murder, attempted murder, and defeating the ends of justice.
We want to stop. Let's
Regional Court updating day today is the 24th of March 2021. Appearance as follows. Please, officer.
564 since 8 July 2004. See a copy of the match.
It is disturbing and highly disturbing that the accused before this court only reported this matter when it was perceived. And they left the lives of people who were shot there. Simple like that, drove away with the motor vehicle. And an application for validity
of custody no benefit.
Clicks has on Thursday denied asking a customer dressed in Ndebele traditional clothing to leave its store at the Boulders shopping center in Midrand. A video has gone viral showing a customer dressed in traditional attire inside a Clicks store being ordered to leave after being told his clothing was indecent. In a short statement on social media, the Clicks group said a center manager accompanied by the security is the one that told the customer to leave the store. Let's take a look at what transpired in that event.
You hear me? This
let's cut the whole story short.
Yes.
We've got a right of admission. I don't condone this in my mall, so you can look who maybe.
I'm saying here it's in Africa.
Yeah, this is Africa. Then you can't tell someone what to do or what to wear at which mall.
It's a public place.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You are dressing decently.
Oh, this is not decently. This is not decently. That's what you're saying. This is not. This is not.
Because I'm wearing African.
This is what you are trying to say. This is not decent.
It's not decent.
Oh, the way you wear it now is decent. That's what you call decent.
You are wearing Western. I'm wearing African.
This is African.
Africa.
This is African.
Call Gigi.
Yeah, call Gigi to come.
Call Gigi. Call Gigi.
You're telling me I'm not supposed to wear African in Africa.
I'm saying.
What I say?
This is a public place. You can practice what you
It doesn't matter. We have a right to wear what we want to wear. You don't have to explain to us what.
I'm not allowing that. This is my mall.
This is your mall. Okay, nice then.
Lack of admission, it's reserved.
For who? For who? For who?
Is there when you enter?
Yeah, but you're not saying if you're wearing your traditional stuff.
Yes.
No, just goes off and then he can do whatever he do. He's walking around normal. So
this is traditional. This is traditional. Mhlobo bani? Mhlobo bani? Umntwana West. What a disappointment.
I'm not going to argue with you, you can take your camera or whatever, but all that I'm saying.
Okay, nice.
Guys, don't sell them whatever they want to buy. They must just leave us.
The Boulders shopping center manager Jose Mapunyane, who had asked Tando Mahlangu to please leave the store for wearing the Ndebele traditional attire, has been suspended pending an internal investigation. With that being said, Galaxy Pan-African Morning will take a break after this, and Audrey Chimwanda Twala will be coming, as you have, I believe you've been missing her, and the guest, which is Vivian M, to engage more on the network marketing, as we may know that this subject is a subject with a lot of myths and mysteries. But however, we will demystify it right here on Galaxy Universal Network, channel 500 on Starsat. Do stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
Make massive moves.
Bible is human and divine.
It's important for us to remember.
And I'm part of God's story.
Yeah, mama, hey.
God is sealing you.
God says what he means, and he means what he says.
God is good.
I am very grateful to God. I am healed.
Amen.
Make massive moves with Starsat.
A very good morning to you. Welcome back to Pan-African Morning. A huge thank you to my colleague Gugu Thusi, who's been hosting you for the past couple of days. It is so great to be back in the purple chair, and I'm sure you've all been missing me as much as I've been missing you. This is Pan-African Morning. It's just a few minutes before 8 o'clock, and we continue with the programming here. A huge welcome to all of viewers, our international viewers that are watching us on our social media platforms, and of course the rest of the continent, as we're coming to you live from our studios here in Johannesburg. I'm your host, Audrey Chimwanda. We have a very special guest in studio today. We go straight to the green couch. We have a network marketing guru. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard about this term and are interested to find out more about it. Well, we have your back as we have an expert in the studio to help us understand. Her name is Vivian Mokome. Vivian, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Audrey, and good morning to the viewers. It is truly a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you so much.
So let's start right from the bottom. When we hear network marketing, a lot of people have questions about that. And who better to ask than the expert in the studio? Let's start by defining it for our viewers, what network marketing is.
Network marketing, it's basically, I'll try and use it a simple term just for our viewers to understand. It's a glorified salesperson. You know, I know many people, when they think of a network marketer, the first thing that comes into their mind is your Ponzi or your pyramid. But basically what is happening is that companies, or rather organizations, are using this sales agent, normally we call them distributors, to move the products, you know, from point A to point B. So it's the nice term, a glorified salesperson.
Right.
There's nothing mystery that is happening there. You know, it's just a glorified salesperson that is getting paid a good income.
Yes, I was doing a bit of research about you. You know, you've been very successful in network marketing. This is not something that you started off doing. You started off in the banking sector. You left your job and you decided to concentrate on this full time because obviously you saw the benefits of it. I do know that a lot of people have tried network marketing. Some haven't been successful. What has made you be, you know, show tenacity and make sure that you continue doing it to be as successful as you are?
As you have said, yes, I was in the banking sector for 11 years. I've practiced as a senior business analyst and a system analyst for many years in the banking sector, and many of my systems have in fact done well. What made me to consider network marketing was the need for financial freedom. You know, I wanted more, and I knew that there was more to my life, and I saw it working. I saw it working with the people that had started before me. I saw the lives of ordinary people being transformed and being given a meaning, and I knew that if that is something that could also change my life, and not only my life, I could use or tap into that system or platform and change the life of those that are around me, and also make a difference in my continent. And that's the reason why I did that. And what is so exciting about network marketing, and especially if you find a relevant system, one can be able to create their own personal economy. You know, irrespective of the national economy or the yo-yo, whatever is happening with our national economy. If you find a relevant platform, you are able to create your own personal economy, irrespective of what is happening around you. And I've seen many people, and I'm talking about ordinary people, Audrey, striving during this time when people are saying there is an economical meltdown, but I've seen ordinary people like Vivian striving. So why won't one consider that?
Let's take a look at your network. You don't only have people that you work with here in South Africa, but you've managed to branch out into the SADC region. How well have you been received by those that you've spoken to, those that you have explained to the benefits of network marketing? What is their understanding of it?
To be honest with you, I've been received well. I've got teams of more than 500,000. I've got teams in Zimbabwe. I hope they are watching.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope so. Because I found them messages this morning.
On the continent.
That's a plus.
So we are live across the continent.
That's a plus for me. I've got teams in Zambia, Lusaka, you know, Kitwe. I've got teams in Uganda, I've got teams all over Africa, and I'll be honest, it has been received well. And it's because of, like I said, this is the system that enables one to build their own personal economy, and that's why it has been received well. Yes, it was a struggle within Southern Hemisphere, where many are still perceiving this as, I normally, if I'm allowed to use my African language, a delela industry, where many are still looking down at. So it has been a challenge within Southern Hemisphere. But in continent like your Eastern Africa, your Northern Africa, this has been received well. So it's only in Southern Hemisphere and through education that people are now, you know, receiving this well. And you need to understand as well, I do not blame them. It's because, and it's what I've said to one of your producers last week, it's because of what has been happening. There's a lot of funny things or funny systems that has been introduced, and they all come in the name of network marketing. And as a result, it causes a confusion. And that's why many professionals, they will rather take a backseat than being associated with this profession. But through knowledge and training, I've seen many people now starting to understand that, in fact, this is a profession. It's not your kind of a Ponzi or pyramid scheme, because there is legit or your products that are there, you understand, and it's a system that is sustainable for a very long time.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you've actually brought this issue of Ponzi scheme and how it has been perceived by people who may not necessarily understand how network marketing works. And really, it's the elephant in the room.
It is.
There are people that say, you know, the financial sector is looking down upon it. They say it could be borderline illegal. How do you then mitigate those kind of perceptives and make sure you educate people to understand that this is the kind of business that you're running, that it is legitimate, and people understand that they can be a part of it?
It is through platform like this. I'm grateful that you have given us the platform. You know, it is through platforms like this where we are able to educate our people, to show them the difference. And I understand why financial sectors will be skeptical, because there is a big difference between your Ponzi and your pyramid. And with the Ponzi, and I also understand why they're doing that, because they're also trying to protect our people. Many people have lost their livelihood in the name of network marketing. So therefore, they have to protect our people. But through such channel, that I am grateful that you have awarded me this opportunity to come here. It is through this channel, and we need more of them, where we can educate our people to show them the difference. And as I've said previously, we need associations that will govern this beautiful industry. And it's unfortunate that in Africa we don't have that. I've traveled in Europe, in USA, and I've seen in countries like Europe, they've got associations that are basically protecting this profession.
Right. Let's start from the grassroots level. We have people that are listening and watching right now that are thinking, we want to be a part of this. We want to give it a try. We want this financial stability that Vivian is talking about. I mean, just looking at you, obviously it has worked very well for you. How would you encourage them, or what advice would you give them to say, if you want to get started in network marketing, this is what you need to get started?
It's very important that they identify a solid platform. You know, find a company that has been in existence for years, a company that has history. It's very important to do that. And I think that's a mistake that many of our people are making. As soon as a new company comes in and launch in the country, they all want to rush in there. I mean, let me ask you a common question here, Audrey. If I were to say to you, hi, I'm Vivian Mokome, I've opened a bank yesterday, will you trust me with your money?
Absolutely not, until I've seen your reputation.
Exactly.
And, you know, reputation is everything in business,
exactly.
as they say.
So I'll advise our people to find a reputable company. And that's unfortunate part of what is happening, especially in Southern Hemisphere. They just go for any company that comes and say, I've launched yesterday, and they go for that. I guess our people, they're looking for an easy fix. And there's no such thing, because with network marketing, there is a work that is happening behind the scene. It's unfortunate that our people will only see the results, but nobody sees the process. And I'm happy that through these channels, that's when now we'll show our people actually what is happening behind the scene, and find an organization that has an evergreen product. By an evergreen product, what I mean, a product that will stand the test of time, a product that will be there for even for the next 10 years. I mean, I look at the company that I've partnered with now, the products that we're currently having, I know that these are the products that will give me a residual income for the next 10 to 20 years. For example, how often do you brush your teeth, Audrey?
That's another question I wanted to ask you. I'm asking the questions here.
All right.
What drives your business mostly? Is it products, or is it what happens behind the scenes of, inviting people to be a part of your network? What would you say would be where one would need to concentrate more on?
Look at the evergreen product. There should be a product, because the sustainability of any network marketing company is the product. All right? And the compensation plan, it has to be a fair compensation plan. It has to be a compensation plan that benefits anyone. It shouldn't be a situation where, because you are the first one that has started and you are the only one that benefit. If I look at the company that I've partnered with, I've only started 3 years ago, and there are people that have started 10 years ago. And if I look at the amount of success that I've achieved, it's more or less equivalent with the people that have started 10 years ago. So you need to look at the evergreen product. Is the product sustainable? Is something that you yourself, Audrey or Vivian, you will be comfortable to sell to the next person? It shouldn't be a product that you just want to get rid of, but it should be something that I know that I'm going to use, my family is going to use, and the next person is going to benefit from it. And the compensation plan, which is a reward, it should be designed in such a way that everyone, and I mean everyone, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter the level of education, but anyone should be able to benefit from it. It shouldn't be about who started first. You understand that? And also, what they need to look at is the sustainability, I've already mentioned, of that organization. Is there history behind it? What is backing them up? And once all the three that I've mentioned, they tick the box, then you're good to go.
Going forward, I know that you'll be partnering with media houses such as Galaxy Universal Network. We're quite excited for that. What can people look forward to? I know you'll be identifying people that really have succeeded in network marketing. Just a bit of a teaser for our viewers on what to look forward.
They should look forward for excitement. The show is more about empowering our people. And it's also showing, I'll be focusing on showing ordinary people achieving extraordinary results. And we'll also be looking at showing what is happening behind the scene. Like I've said, people, they only see the results. They don't know what is happening behind the scene. I mean, you'll be seeing professionals, the likes of Vivian Mokome, straight from corporate into network marketing. Why is she here? What drive her? And what has she achieved in the last 3 years? And you'll be seeing the likes of young people, students. I mean, I have young people in my team who are doing exceptionally well. So we'll be interviewing different people from all sorts of background that are currently doing well. And we are looking at 80% of people that are currently benefiting as a result of network marketing.
Yes, and the success rate of network marketing?
Currently, the success rate, depending on the three that I've already said, it's 80%.
Those are good numbers, Vivian.
It is a good numbers.
Those
and
very
it's,
good numbers.
You know, I'll be honest with you. It's unfortunate that the stories are not told. The only stories that are told are those of Ponzi schemes. But the stories of the actual network marketing professionals are not told. I mean, there's a lady in my team that I've signed under. She's from Nigeria. When I saw her weekly income, I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. And she was currently nominated. She's on the list of the top 42 women, influential women in Africa. The first.
Very impressive.
Exactly.
And I'm happy that you've actually explained that, you know, there's no qualification to be able to take part in network qualification.
None
because a lot of people look at it and they become intimidated, or they don't know, you know, will I be able to understand the intricate details of what goes into it, to network marketing?
And that's what we want to show in the show. That it's not about, because maybe some will look at Vivian and say she's a superstar and that's an exception. You know, because Vivian did it, I cannot make it. So through this show, we want to show them that anyone can achieve. And we want to tell the stories as they are. You know, we don't want to come there and manipulate the stories and show only the fleshy life. But my financial freedom, and this is what I was talking to one of my leaders yesterday, my financial freedom might be different to Audrey, might be different to my husband, might be different to the next person. So we want to show those things. We want to show you a lady who's saying, through network marketing, I'm able to put food on the table. And we want to show a doctor who is in my team who said, through network marketing, I was able to open my own franchise. And we want to show the likes of Vivian who are saying, I am a former IT executive, and through network marketing, I was able to own my own time.
I want to hear more of those stories, Vivian. We're going to take a very short break. Thereafter, we'll come back on the green couch. Vivian will tell us more about people that have been doing network marketing outside of a show, of course, that she'll be a part of, and just showcasing the success stories of those that have embarked on this journey that may be new to some people who do not understand it. She will unveil all those secrets for us. Do stay with us. This is Pan-African Morning.
Make massive moves.
How can you say that? That is what it is.
Your mother eloped with someone else.
I just think this is such a genius idea. I think it's amazing.
I can be happy. It's inside you. It's inside of all of us.
It's about cooking smart that are nutritious and delicious.
President Trump acknowledging the coronavirus death toll could be significantly higher.
We don't want to do this. There is nothing you can take.
Surviving roommates scared.
The heavyweights arrive.
Inside, finds Pachulia, blocked by Jane.
This is the will of God.
Make massive moves with Starsat.
I want you to eat healthy food because it's delicious.
Make massive moves.
Would you like another one? I love it. I love this soup. This is amazing. The grits are so creamy. Oh.
I take pride in my grits.
So flavorful.
I think that looks wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so incredible.
Make massive moves with Starsat.
We've hit the top of the hour. Check your time with ours. It's a few minutes after 8 o'clock Central African time. Once again, coming to you live from our Midrand studios here in Johannesburg. We certainly appreciate you joining us, and we're having a very important conversation here. We have a network marketing guru in our studios. Very fortunate to have her in our midst today in partnership with Galaxy Universal Network going forward. She will be showcasing and highlighting some of the success stories of network marketing. I know a lot of people have been trying to get into that industry, have a lot of questions of how they can be a part of it. Well, she's here to debunk some of the myths that are out there as well, to clarify some issues for us. Thank you for staying with us, Vivian. We're taking a short break there, but we're back now. We're talking about the issue of longevity. You know, I'd asked you just before the break, this is success rate of network marketing, and you're talking about 80%. That's a huge number of a success rate. The people that do join, do you see, is it more women or men? Is there gender parity there that we can explore?
It depends. If you look at Southern Hemisphere, it's mainly men who are, not men, sorry, it's mainly women in Southern Hemisphere, but in countries like your Eastern and your Western Africa, it's male dominated. Yeah, so in Southern Hemisphere, I see a lot of women who are currently embracing this profession and doing well. But when I travel to countries like your Eastern and your Western, it's mainly male dominated.
Let's talk about the products that you sell. I see you have something on our table here.
Yeah.
I suppose it is part of the products that you do showcase and will sell in your network marketing. Where are these products from? What is the quality of the products that we're talking about, and what makes them stand out, outside of what we see in retail shops, in your ShopRites and all the other retail shops that we know of?
Okay, I didn't even realize that I have my product here. Sorry. But this is one of the products that I cannot live without. I take it with me everywhere where I go. It's a pie cup. I use it to drink my water. Can I just drink my water from
Please,
it? So
go ahead.
I normally
Demonstrate
use it.
For us.
Yeah. So I normally use it for that on daily basis. So yeah, I didn't even realize that I have my cup with me. All right. So most of these products are mainly organic products. They're designed in such a way that they cure some of the ailments. So it's not a necessary product that you'll get in your Clicks or your Woolworths, and it's because of the design that has been used when they were manufacturing this product. Right. And that's why you can only find them in those different companies that one decide to partner with. There are many different companies that are available out there, and unfortunately, for the sake of our viewers, I would rather not mention the company that I've partnered with. The reason for that, I do not want to exclude those who are not part of my company.
And we wouldn't want to do free advertising as well. Would have to invoice them ultimately.
Yeah.
When we take a look at the price range of the products that is involved in network marketing, when you and I started this conversation, we spoke about the economic meltdown that has been precipitated by COVID-19. Would you say that most people would be able to afford this product?
They are affordable, because if you look at the price that is embedded in the product, the price is also included as part of our compensation plan, our reward system. So for every product that you purchase from this company, there is a reward system that is embedded in there. So for example, when you go to your Clicks or your ShopRite, etc., when you buy the product, you're getting nothing out of that. So now with this product, for example, this one, if I buy it from this company, there are health benefits that comes with it, and not only that, there's also a financial reward that comes with this product. So in saying that, I can say they are affordable.
Take us through the, if I can call it, initiation program of somebody who wants to start off. The kind of right questions to ask if you want to look for a platform that is reputable, as you've already alluded to. What are the right questions one should ask, whatever platform they decide to join?
They need to first make research about the history of that company. Find out how long has it been in existence. That was the first thing that I asked myself before signing that application form. I wanted to know the history of the company, and I wanted to know their plans. I mean, their plans in terms of developing Africa. Are they here to stay, or they only here just to get money out of our people, and the next thing they are not there? So those were the things that I had to ask myself. And what is more interesting about the company that I am currently representing, they are building their 9th R&D Research and Development Center currently in Nigeria. They've spent billions and billions of dollars building that plant. That, to me, it talks about stability. They are here to stay, they're not going anywhere, because there's a building involved, there's a factory there. And it also shows me that they care about the development and the growth of Africans. If someone were to bring, or to invest their money into my country and our people, it says a lot about them. That was something that resonated with me. Their vision, I wanted to know what they are all about. Are they only all about making money? Is that the bottom line? Or do they also care about our people? Because I wanted to partner with the system that I know that it's not only about going to take money from our people, but they're about developing Africans. I am pro-Africans, unfortunately. So those were the things that I looked for. So it's very important. You need to check the culture as well. Do they resonate with you the same way as when you look for a job? Cultural fit. Will you fit in there? And what they're promoting, is it something that you, Audrey, resonate with you. So those are the things that I'll ask people to do. Don't just rush into joining. Remember, this is a profession. You want a long-term relationship, and the reward system, is that system going to help you touch the lives of ordinary people? Yes, when I first started, it was all about money. I wanted money, but my vision evolved. When I saw the life of people that have been transformed, then the vision evolved.
Right. Let's talk about some of the challenges that some that want to join may face, because I mean, it's one thing for us to sit here and look at it with rose-tinted glasses to say everything is going to be amazing, but obviously that cannot be. When something is too good to be true, people become skeptical about it. Talk to us about some of the challenges that you encountered, how you managed to overcome them, and how you managed to make sure that you're where you are today.
It's not easy. I'll be lying if I were to say it was easy. It was an easy journey. I call it a journey. Like any other journeys, there are ups and downs. You will be mocked. I was mocked. You will be rejected. As I said, there are lots of myth around this profession. You will be rejected. I was rejected by my husband. My husband rejected the proposal. My father rejected the proposal. My colleague, everyone rejected it. They were even shocked that I said yes to this, because they looked down at it. And I also used to look down at it. I don't blame them. So you'll face that. You'll face rejection. You'll face mockery. And there will be nights where no one will buy into your vision. And there will be nights, with network marketing, you're dealing with teams. And teams are made up of people. And where there are people, there are challenges. You're dealing, and the sad thing, or rather exciting thing about network marketing, is that these are people from different backgrounds. I came from a corporate sector, and the team that I was leading, it was there because of their experience and their qualification. So it was easy to manage. You knew that when you are an IT exec, you had to have certain qualification and certain experience. But now with network marketing, because this is an open field for everyone, so you're getting people from all different background. Now your management skills has to be different, because we are dealing here with people. So you can imagine, some are older than me, some are pastors, some are even highly qualified, or they even have more experience than you. So you need to find, I'm still learning till today, I don't want to lie. I was looking at myself today and what I used to be 3 years ago. I even said this morning to my husband, now I think I'm a better person.
And this is you saying this after having a number of degrees, even a master's degree, and having a successful corporate career. But what kind of a personality or characteristics do you think one needs to employ within themselves? Because dealing with people, as you've already alluded to, cannot be easy.
No, it's not easy. I've made lots of mistakes that costed me in the past. And those mistakes is because I was still learning. This was new to me. You cannot approach this industry with you know it all. You have to have a teachable spirit, being willing to learn. And what is more important, and what I've recently learned, you have to love people. You cannot do it if you don't love people. And that is something that I had to learn, to love and to appreciate people, and appreciate your country, and appreciate what this platform will bring and do to your country. So you have to develop a thick skin.
And the platform that you want to build, of course, with a partnership with Galaxy Universal Network, what is the objective there?
The objective is to empower our people. I believe network marketing, you can call it crazy, because people like saying that Vivian, you're a dreamer. Yes, I am a dreamer. I am a dreamer, and sometimes my dreams, they scare me. I want a platform where our people will get more education about network marketing, because this is the solution. It is the solution to what we are currently going through as a country. I am busy with my PhD, by the way, and with Wits University. And as part of my thesis and part of my studies, when you look at what is happening, 60% of young people between the age of 19 and 25, they're currently unemployed. That's sad.
Those are scary numbers.
It is.
And the numbers are expected to increase.
Audrey, 60%, that is 6 out of 10. And you look at what is happening now with the university students. They doing for fees must fall. And it's because they from the system, you know, and I'm also from that system. The system that says, go to school, matriculate, you know, go get your good marks, graduate like Vivian, and get a good job. And for those who cannot graduate like Vivian, and I'm talking about women, young girls, then the solution will be to get a rich man for them to be successful. That is a system, unfortunately, that is there. But now, there is a system, a better and a beautiful system that many people are not aware of. And it's because of the truth that is distorted in there. Now, I'm hoping that this channel will bring hope, a solution to our people to say, listen to me, a young person that is sitting at home and saying, I've typed as many CVs as I can, but I'm not getting anything. You know,
and this is your solution, right?
This
there.
is a solution.
A lot of people are looking for solutions.
Exactly.
For financial liberation, so to speak. And a lot of social ills come from people not being able to have that financial liberation.
Audrey, the worst thing that you can ever do to our people is to take away hope, you know, and to take away their power. That's the worst you can ever do.
Yeah. And as we wrap up this conversation, Vivian, is there an exit strategy? Should one then think, you know what, this is not for me, having entered? And I know that I'm not being pessimistic, but we're looking at all angles here. Should one then think, okay, perhaps, you know, this is not for me? Or is there like a contract that you're bound to that you can never get out? Because this is some of the questions that people ask, and it scares them.
There's no contract. And there's no contract that bound anyone else to stay in here. This is a platform, and I think people need to understand that this is a platform, you know. And what do I mean by a platform? Through this platform, Vivian became a successful businesswoman. Do you understand that? So it doesn't mean that's the end, your alpha and your omega, but this is your channel that can help you actually materialize your dreams. You know, it's through this platform that I am now considered as one of the top business women in South Africa.
Halala. I love to hear that.
So I've used this platform, it's a channel. It's the same as a degree being your what? Your channel towards your, what we used to think, it's a financial freedom. So this is the same thing. And this is what I'm hoping to achieve through this partnership.
Right.
To say to our people, listen, you don't have to go and ban buildings while you are studying. You don't even have to stop studying. That's why I'm still studying. I'm still doing my PhD.
There's an answer to all your problems.
Exactly.
And I think if your following is anything to speak by, I'm just looking at our Facebook page, and boy, do you have a following. And the amount of support that you're receiving from people. I mean, there's a number of messages that I'll read here, but we just simply don't have enough time. But very encouraging messages that are coming from people saying, come back to business leadership. And, you know, saying, yes, a teachable spirit is what is required in network marketing. But we'll have to leave it here. Thank you so much, Vivian.
Thank you.
You've been such an inspiration, not only to me, but to our viewers as well that are listening. And let's continue to have these conversations. This platform that you want to create going forward with the Galaxy Universal Network is a very important one. We are looking forward to it. We are very excited for it because we know the potential that it holds for people's problems right now. And, you know, what better way for entrepreneurship if you're not solving people's problems, right?
And I mean, coming to our people and saying there is a plan B, isn't it a better way?
There's hope.
There's hope to them to say there is hope. Come and see ordinary people like you achieving extraordinary results. I want to say to IT specialists, there is hope. You know, it's better building people than building the systems. I find joy in doing that. I used to think building systems, it's much more rewarding until I found this platform.
But on that very profound note, we'll leave it there. Vivian Mokome there, she is a force, like some are saying here on our comments, a network marketing guru speaking to us here on Pan-African Morning. Do leave your comments on our social media platforms. We'll be able to get back to you if you have any questions. You will be seeing much more of Vivian as she embarks on this journey of empowering people, not only in South Africa, but across the continent when it comes to network marketing. This is Pan-African Morning. We'll take a short break. Just stay with us.
Make massive moves.
How can you say that? That is what it is.
Your mother eloped with someone else.
I just think this is such a genius idea. I think it's amazing.
I can be happy. It's inside you. It's inside of all of us.
It's about cooking smart that are nutritious and delicious.
President Trump acknowledging the coronavirus death toll could be significantly higher.
We don't want to do this. There is nothing you can take.
Jerusalem. Surviving roommates scared.
The heavyweights arrive.
Inside, finds Petulia, blocked by Jane.
This is the will of God.
Make massive moves with Starsat. Make massive moves.
Bible is human and divine.
It's important for us to remember.
And I'm part of God's story.
God is sealing you.
God says what he means, and he means what he says.
God is good.
I am very grateful to God. I am healed.
Amen.
Make massive moves with Starsat.
Welcome back to the Pan-African Morning right here on Galaxy Universal Network Channel 500 on Starsat. Thank you for furthering the conversation across all our social media platforms. As you know that we are Galaxy Universal Network on Facebook, we are Gan_TV_ on Instagram and on Twitter. And I am going to hand over the show back to Audrey Chimwanda-Tall. It's good to have you back.
About time. I mean, I leave for a few days and this guy tries to steal my job, right?
Wow, Audrey.
It's been a busy week, Gugu. I'm happy to be back. You know, we're in the Free State. We're looking at the legislature. We're sitting in different municipalities, bringing the legislature to the people, having different discussions of how they can empower their communities. You know, we're heading into local government elections this year. So they really were trying to get to the root of the problems and also tabling their budgets, their 2021 to 2022 budgets, tabling them, debating with different political parties and coming up with solutions for people. As you know, they say by the people, for the people when it comes to government. So it's been quite interesting. We went to Kwakwa, went to Buchapelo, we're going to Welcome today, and of course we're going to package all of this for our viewers and show them what has been happening in the Free State. We don't only intend to do it in the Free State, but we'll be traversing across the country and really bringing issues of governance to people so they understand how it works. But tell me, what's been happening with you? What have been the big stories that you've
this
been covering?
week, one of the big stories, the one that took place yesterday, as you know, the Tembega Ngogaito was representing the State Capture Commission at the Concord because, you know, they want that former President Jacob Zuma to, you know, to be, you know, held in contempt of court and be sentenced for 2 years. And so yesterday, social media, especially Twitter, was bashing on Advocate Themba Ncogay to say, we thought you were on our side. We thought you were on our side. What's going on? You know, that was one of the interesting angles. And obviously this week we saw that a woman was appointed to, you know, in the interim after the death of a king. That, you know, she was appointed. That is something to celebrate. Times
really are changing, aren't
they? Times are changing. But unfortunately within obviously the cultural space, you know, there are some, you know, who are not receiving it well, but we are hoping, because the family is still in discussion in terms of who will take over after the king. And yeah, many more stories. I mean, we heard as well this after the death of you know, the president was laid, Tanzanian president was laid to rest.
Magufuli,
yes. Yeah, we had in the Congo there were elections in the DRC as well. So it was a very interesting and a useful week, and I enjoyed the experience. However, you know, waking up in the morning, early morning, but it was really an opportunity for me to learn. I've learned quite a lot. And
you did an amazing job, Gugu. You know, and a consummate professional, as you can see, holding down the fort on Pan-African Morning. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And I continue to learn a lot from you, Tumonda. Thank you so much.
We learn from each other. That's my colleague, Gugu Thusi, who's been with you for the past couple of days. I am back, and it's good to serve you as Africa, as our continent, as we continue to serve you. Your favorite breakfast show on Channel 500 on Starsat. We'll leave it here. And Gugu, you're back a bit later on Prime, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Gugu and perhaps Salisha Jali will be joining him as well, as it brings you a comprehensive look at all the stories that have happened throughout the day, and deep analysis from some of the guests that he will be talking to, so you don't want to miss that. We'll leave it here for now. Have a very good morning. Remember to be kind to one another. Keep watching Galaxy Universal Network. More programming coming up after this.
To eat healthy food because it's delicious.
Make massive moves.
Would you like another one? I love it. I love this soup. This is amazing. The grits are so creamy. Oh.
I take pride in my grits.
So flavorful.
I think that looks wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so incredible.
Make massive moves with